What's up, Hoochies? It's your girl Jew, and you are back again for another episode of Lace Convos with Jew. I miss you, but I hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you're having an amazing week. Hopefully your Mother's Day, I had to think about it, was amazing for all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day. Um, we wouldn't be here without y'all. So, period. But I miss you guys. We are back again for another week of shenanigans because you know that's what I do. And I am literally riding on a wave. Oh, if you're new here, hey boo, welcome. You have made it to episode 25. Okay, there are 24 other episodes for you to go and play catch up on. Get to know me a little bit, see what we do around here. But just in case you don't get to do it, right away, just give you a little spin of what we're about here. Lace Convos with you is all about me just keeping it transparent, keeping it sexy, keeping it hilarious, and just giving you a full view of my life while I live it in full vivid color. Bringing you on the journey, because baby, it really is. It's a journey. It's a journey, okay? It's a full journey. Every day is not a good day. um, a lot of days are not a good day. However, it's a day above ground, right? And we just try to keep afloat. So, I am back for episode 25. We have made it 25 whole episodes in. Can you believe it? Once again, 25. You see, I had to bring the mic closer so you can hear me. 25. You can't tell me I can't be consistent. I'm consistent. But I'm really excited about the 25th episode because this is our little mid-break point. As much as I love speaking to you guys every week and coming on and doing the shenanigans, I do realize that I do have to, one, hey, take care of myself. We talked about that 2 episodes ago, did we not? But two, I also need to recharge, rejuvenate some of the ideas that I have wandering in my brain, process some of the things that we've spoke about. Because once again, this is like therapy for me, and I need time to process it. Come up with better content and better ideas, not even better, but bigger ideas, bigger content, more guests, and just more features I want to add to what we do here. And I need time for that. And then three, to explore some of the things that I've been wanting to do. Take some courses. I know it's been forever since I was in anybody's school, but we gonna, see what that be like. Just explore some things, explore some activities that I've been wanting to do, travel a little bit, and just live in the moment. Now, what I can say is, let me tell you, I'm trying to see if I could work in a couple of lives. I definitely want to be more intentional with my social media presence because I still want to keep in contact with you guys and I always want to stay connected. So I'll probably do some lives on both Instagram and Facebook. So if you're not following me, now is your time. Now is your time to go ahead and follow. You can find me on all social media platforms by this name here, Lace Combos with Jew. And most of the times I'm giving behind the scenes of, another random ass date. Some things that I may be doing with the girls, the friends, maybe some travels here and there, some new recipes, because the girl is trying to get back to cooking regularly. I'll probably give you some behind the scenes of me taking some courses and just many different avenues of my life. So definitely follow so you can get all of the sneak peek and everything else. You know what I mean? So that's what we have looking forward to. Don't get sad. I will be back soon. But your girl gotta be outside. I gotta be outside now, okay? So if you want to see me be outside, go to the social media. So you're not really missing out. We just won't be talking like we do here. We won't be having no knee to knee, but you can still, hit me up in a DM with your clothes on. I had to throw that in there since last episode we talked about it. But just taking some time to really be with myself and to enjoy the moment, like I said, and to explore. And that's a part of my process. That's been my process since the beginning. So I'm going to respect that process and trust it and continue to be consistent with the process. So yeah, I thought why not end season one on a amazing note, which all episodes have been amazing, but ended on an amazing note, a high note, and in the spirit of just keep going. And I thought why not 25? Why not 25? Half of 50. Why not? So yeah, that's where we're at. And it's just like if you were watching a television show, your Grey's Anatomy sisters and brothers and whatever else y'all be watching on the TVs. They take a little, intermission. You go to a play, they have an intermission. You go to the game, they have what do they have? Halftime. I was about to say timeout, but no, halftime. They have breaks. So that is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so don't worry, I'll be back. We're looking at, or I'm projecting sometime in August. I will give specific dates closer, but sometime in August I will be back. So that means if you haven't already, if you haven't played catch up, now is your time. You see what I'm saying? You see? So that way when we come back with season 2 with the banger, you be like, oh, I'm caught up. I already know where you at this point. I know exactly where your mind is. I know where you at. I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to accomplish. We are here. I see you. You get what I'm saying? So that's the plan. So sometime in August will be the return. But like I said, you can definitely follow me and catch me on social media. I will be present there and I will attempt to do some lives to help with, really building more content and getting some ideas from you guys and getting some discussion. See what y'all, thinking about. See how y'all doing. Checking in on y'all. How you doing out there? Is you still sane? But yeah. Um, so that's the first update. I had to think about it. My mind blank. Second thing, of course, what we're here for today, episode 25. I will go into detail about that. What we're gonna talk about today. But the third update. So your girl has been featured in a magazine. You heard me. You want my autograph now or later? I advise you get it now. Because later, the price just went up. I'm just playing. The price just went up, baby. Okay, I'm going to need you to Google me. Google me. I got publications, with my name on it. All right. But no, I am, if you don't know, if you're new here and you don't know, I live in Houston, Texas, but I'm originally from Chicago. I know, best city ever. Whoop, whoop. I just chose not to live there anymore. But I'm here in Houston, Texas, and we have a magazine, a local magazine called The Voyage Houston, and they, matter of fact, I think The Voyage is all like around the country. So they have one I know in like Atlanta. They have one I believe in DC, like different places. So the one here has this running publication where it's called Houston's Most Inspiring Stories. And your girl is Story of the Week. It was published today. Do you hear me? May 16th. And if you know about Lace Convos, I typically record on Sundays or over the weekend. The latest is Monday. But what ended up happening was I did record on Monday, and then I came back and was like, no, I want to record while I'm living in the moment. Living in the moment of me being in a damn magazine. Won't he do it? So I'm really excited about that. It allowed me the opportunity to share my story with a bigger audience and to hopefully connect with people that may not know who Jew is and lace convos with Jew. It may feel like, you're unheard or looked over, you know what I mean? So I already know that God grants me opportunities and He puts favor within my life and He puts me in different rooms even when I'm not present. Shout out to Jamia. Jamia, you know who you are. She was actually the one who referred me for the actual article, and it's those type of people, and it's those type of moments where you realize that I'm not hidden, I'm not muted. People can see me, people can see my shine, people can see the work that I'm putting in, people recognize me, and it's a different kind of feeling when you are seen and heard, and the intentions are pure, they're genuine. And, don't get me wrong, I accept and I am so appreciative towards any form of support, any form of love, any form of just complete genuineness. But this was the icing. This was the cherry. This was the icing on the cake. This was the just the right amounts of garnish that I needed to revel in this feeling of accomplishment and to know that I was seen and I was brought up in a room that I wasn't even present in, didn't even know, didn't even see it coming, didn't even know. So that was just God sending another form of confirmation saying that, I am on the right path and I should continue, even though I never doubted it. Okay. Okay, maybe in the beginning. In the beginning, I did. But now, I'm in here. I'm stuck. Okay. I invested too much damn time, money, effort, and we here. How can I leave you? So I'm really excited about that. Super dope. And I will, of course, include the link for you to go and check out the actual article. And if you want to be a little spicy and fancy, leave a comment, say something. Even if you don't know me, say something because it's a good article, okay? I did my thing in the interview. I just want you to know that. But definitely check it out. I'll have it posted on my social media. I'll keep talking about it until I can't talk about it anymore. Thank you. Because when you don't clap, I'll clap for myself. Okay, let me calm down. I'm here. Okay, I'm here. I'm gonna bring it down. Psych. But no, I'm really excited about that. So when you do get a chance, definitely check it out. Like I said, it's the Voyage Houston, most inspiring stories, and I was featured for the May 16th edition. I'm sorry, publication, and it has my face on there, my pretty old face that y'all used to seeing every week on that flyer. And I talk about my story. I talk about the podcast. I talk about how it originated, how we got here. How the hell did we get here? And I talk about the background, what made me do it, and what makes me continue to do it. So definitely check it out. Super, 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 super dope. So let's get into the topic, okay? First and foremost, we're in the spirit of Mother's Day, okay? Loving on all the mamas, grandmamas, aunties, godmamas, sister mamas, little mamas, big mamas, all of that. We're in the spirit of just showing gratitude, appreciation, giving the flowers to the people, to the women that create life, that have created life, that continue to show up every day and be the maternal instinct and to be the maternal guidance in all of our lives. And it's super dope. It's super, 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 super dope. I wanted this episode. What's crazy is it kind of ironically happened. Like I knew I was gonna go on a break, but I just didn't know when. I knew I wanted to do like a little halfway point, but I didn't know if I would make it to 25. I mean, honestly, 25 just came from out of nowhere. And it just so happened to play, or not play, but just so happened to um land on the week of Mother's Day, you know? So granted, Mother's Day was Sunday, and we are currently in Tuesday. We're currently on Tuesday. I had to think about it. But it's still in the same spirit, okay? Okay. So, in addition to that, I know a couple of episodes back, I paid homage and spoke from the heart about my father. And so I knew for a fact that I wanted to give my mother her flowers. And I wanted to make it special because she deserved that, if not more. Not if not, she deserves more. And I wanted to do that in a way that purely came from the heart. Nothing scripted, nothing, propaganda, none of that, even though I don't even roll that way. But I wanted to sit down and give her her moment the same way that I gave him his. And to cherish her and to honor her because I truly do believe without her, clearly, I wouldn't be here. So today's episode is Lessons from My Mama. um, Let me tell you something. My mother is a strong force, right? And she's one of those strong forces that you either have to recognize or get blown over. One of the two, okay? Um, from as far as I can remember, it's always been us. And when I say us, initially it was just me and her. I am technically the only child, her only biological child. And then my mother stepped up to the plate and took on caring for my cousin, which we'll call her sister cousin. And she took care of her majority of her life up until now. Now, there is a little bit of an age difference between me and sister cousin, so she was younger than me. And it's always been either us two or us three, you know? And my first example of what a strong woman was my mother. To see her not only care for self, but care for the two others and do it by herself. Looking at it now, my my complete appreciation, my complete gratitude, my complete honor and admiration to her. I'm not a mother. I'm not a mother. I'm a plant mom, but I don't have any children. And I can't even imagine being able to juggle life, my own emotions, my own needs, my own struggles, and then two other people, specifically two other women. um, I can't even make words. I don't even know. That's how amazing, and strong mothers are. So growing up, me and my mom had like this little, I don't know, we used to tussle. Not tussle like physical. I wouldn't even be here to be talking, okay? Whole life just ended, okay? But we would always bump heads, okay? And of course, the regular teenage stuff. Oh, she don't listen, da da da. You know everything, blah blah blah, that type of thing. But not even teenage, but just kid stuff. But it also was because we were so. Now that I look at it, okay, I look at it now. Back then, I felt like we were complete opposites, right? But now I realize that we're so much alike, it's sickening. So sickening. I am my mother's child. So many of my patterns and so many of my, whew, so many of my just quirkiness and personality. That's the word I'm looking for. So much of my personality comes from my mother. Um, One, the first thing is, and the first thing she's taught me is resilience. Like, I have never seen a person like go after a yes and there is no no. I've never seen her back down from a no. I've never seen her back down from a challenge. If it's something that she has in mind, she goes after. If it's something that she needs to get for herself or her family, she does it. If she needs to work X amount of hours, she's there. I remember one time it snowed really bad in Chicago. I mean, like crazy, stupid, crazy bad. And I believe it was so bad. It was very rare that it was that one time that we either went to school late or we were told to go to like our nearby schools versus like your actual school because it was really bad with the snow and you could barely, get to wherever you need to go. And my mother still went to work. Okay, she still went to work, like snow up to your kneecaps, okay? And she still trucked it to work. Now, the crazy part is some people are like, well, you got, what is it, four-wheel drive? You got that, blah, 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 trucks, this, that, and the third. Here's the kicker. My mother does not drive. So she woke up, got out of her bed early enough to leave out to still make it to work while everybody else is calling out, probably not coming in, gonna be late, and still made it on time. Still showed up to the job. Still punched the clock. And I know that may sound very minor. It may sound like, oh, okay, well, she had to work. But it's examples like that that show me that she's going to show up. She's going to show up. She's going to be resilient, even though all of the odds are stacked against her. Let's just be truthful. Like in our society, in our culture, automatically from the womb, you have odds stacked against you just because you're black. You have odds stacked against you just because you're a woman. So to have a black woman, okay, my mother was not married. So a black woman as a single parent, okay, single parent, urban city. We didn't live in the suburbs. Don't get me wrong. My mother made sure I didn't want for anything, not for nothing. Um, it's the simple fact that she still made it out. She still defied the odds. She still made something out of nothing. She still made magic out of something so simple. Yet it's such a hard reach for other people. And just to look back on it now as an adult, like I know how hard life is for me. I was just telling my best friend the other day, listen, it's just me. Imagine if it was me plus three. Me plus two. No. Because in a minute, I'm about to say I no longer eat eggs. I just can't wrap my mind around the price of eggs. Have you seen the price of laundry detergent? It's just me. And I'm over here complaining about laundry detergent. Imagine having to do 3 loads per person, which means you need even more. And not even just the financial aspect or resources like monetary resources. It's the aspect that I have to be there. I have to show up for you time in, time out, even when I'm having a bad day, even when I don't know what the hell I'm doing, even when I can't show up for myself, even when it's hard for me to pray for myself, I still have to pray for you. Forever indebted. Period. I can end the podcast right here off that. Just Trevor and Daddy. And so the younger me didn't quite understand that because I had this image in my head that moms look like this, moms do this, moms say this, moms share this with their daughters, moms blah 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 blah. I had this image of what a mom should be. Little did I know that my mom was that plus some. My mom was all of that plus some. And she just had her own way of showing me what it is that I was looking for. I'm not going to sit here and say that I gave her hell, but I will say that I didn't give her the grace that she needed during that time. Because I myself was still trying to figure out what all of the emotions was that I was feeling. And all of the thoughts that I had. And I didn't quite understand why she couldn't show me the affection that I needed. My version of affection that I wanted was, more hugs and you tell me you love me every second you get it. Let's go on mother-daughter dates and da 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 da. And her version of affection looked completely different from that. If you know my mother, you know she's not a big mushy, touchy. Ooh, that ain't her. That's never been her. But in my mind, I'm like, no, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to be this way, and you're supposed to act this way. And every time I will go in with this expectation, right? This expectation, this fairy tale expectation, and I would get disappointed. And it grew this bitterness and this anger that you can't show up. You can't show up. And the reality is the whole time she has shown up. She has shown up. She has proven. She has justified. She has done exactly what she was supposed to do. So yes, now I can look back and I don't regret, but I give grace and I give my admiration and I give my complete respect and I give my appreciation towards her resilience to still show up. Even when I refuse to see her showing up, she still shows up. To this day, the most consistent person I know outside of God. And that ain't no hype. That ain't no gassing her up. That's me being completely honest. When it comes to my personal life, she has been the most consistent person. The person that even if I don't call, she still shows up. I remember one day I wasn't feeling well. I felt really, 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 really bad. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was like a toothache or something. It was a headache. Something like really got me down. And normally when I'm sick, okay? And I had called her and I was crying. That's how bad I was in pain. And once again, we don't normally get to that mushy level. Like, oh my God, it comfort me. Granted, I want this in my head, but now we fast forward to me being an adult, and I'm like, well, I know she's not gonna give me this, so I completely just like I don't even know what I'm calling for, but whatever. So I'm calling and I'm telling her, and I remember asking her to pray for me. Because that's how much pain I was in. And I don't know if she remembered this. One day I'm going to have to ask her. But I remember asking her to pray for me. Like, for real. Because I couldn't, at that moment, I was in so much pain. I was so distraught about the pain that I was feeling. Like, listen, my tolerance is very low. And I guess maybe I was in a moment of fear because of the pain. I wish I could remember what it was that was ailing me, but I was in pain and I called her and I'm crying on the phone. I'm like, just pray, pray. And I remember going to sleep, finally falling asleep, right? And the following day, I woke up, and I'm not saying that my mother is God, but what I am saying is it's the prayers that our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, our sisters, those the women in our lives, it's those prayers that get us through. Because I remember waking up and I felt so much better. I felt so much better that I really didn't even have to go to the emergency room. And in that moment, I thought, or fast forward, I thought, when I finally had a chance to process that moment later on, I realized that in moments that I can't even pray for myself, you still show up and pray for me. And then it made me think that there are so many moments that I'm pretty sure maybe I didn't tell her that I was having a bad day. Maybe I didn't tell her that things were tight. Maybe I didn't tell her that I felt disappointed. Maybe I didn't tell her that, I'm dealing with depression or whatever the case is. But being able to know your child and knowing when things are off and knowing when things doesn't seem, right. The many things I've gone through that maybe I didn't necessarily verbally tell her, I know for a fact there had to be prayers from her that has covered me. Okay, I'm trying not to cry here. But that has covered me through this entire journey, through this entire time, and will continue to cover me. So the fact that she still can, even though I may disappoint her, I have disappointed her, I may get on her nerves. We may not see eye to eye. There are plenty of times we don't see eye to eye. But it leads me to this next point. So she's taught me resilience, but she's also taught me grace. Grace to give, grace to move in, um, grace to understand and show empathy. One thing I can say is my mother is the person for the underdog. I've seen this countless times where the people that are doubted, the people that are written off, the people that have the disadvantages, that maybe they're not the most popular. My mother brings them in under her wings. And it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. She doesn't look at them as any less. She does whatever she can to support them in that moment. And a lot of times that goes forgotten or overlooked because people just look at it as like, oh, Darlene just being Darlene. That's my mother's name. And people it gets overshadowed because people see her as being like this hard surface, right? And sometimes I ain't gonna lie, she can come off like, oh, I don't know if I want to talk to her. She might bite my head off. But once you get to know her, you adore her immediately. And she's just no cut cards. Like, she's no nonsense. She gives you straight to you. No fluff, no filter, just whatever. Boom, there it is. And honestly, it's very authentic. It's very genuine. And I adore people like that. I now have such a appreciation for a person that can just give me exactly who they are, 100%, without all of the filters, because at least you know exactly what you're getting. So when it comes to my mother, I've seen her show so many people grace. The people that have done her dirty, the people that have tried to take advantage, the people that have tried to forget, tried to minimize, the situations that maybe didn't necessarily turn out in her favor at that moment. I've seen it play out, and I've seen where she's had the disadvantage, but she still allowed the grace to outshine any of that. She still allowed her ability to understand people, understand that people make mistakes, not sympathize people, but give empathy. And there's a difference. I've seen her do that countless times. The same people that I can guarantee you the average person will be like, nah, I'm good. I ain't messing with them. I'm good. Deuces. That's it. It's a wrap. Like, she still allowed that person to come around. She still allowed that person to be involved. She still shows love. Now, granted, she may be a little, okay, this is it. This is my limit, but I'ma still be there for you. It's those examples that show me time and time again what grace is. And you may not understand. You may not get it. Sorry, y'all. Got tissue right here. You may not understand. You may not get it. And it's not for everybody to understand. And I think that's the other thing. That's the addition to the grace. She do it regardless of what others may think. Other people may be like, "Oh, you crazy. Oh, you naive to let." She make her decision. She makes her move. She states how she feels, and she lives with that. If she say she rocking with you, she rocking with you the long way. And I can guarantee you, anybody that knows me know that that's literally me. Listen, I'm with you when you're right, and when you're wrong, I'm still with you, but I'm going to tell you you're wrong. But I'm still with you because I don't ever want to count anybody out because I know what it feels like to be counted out. And I know, and I've seen my mother be the amazing friend. I've seen my mother be the amazing family member, the amazing sibling, the amazing mother. So I know for a fact, it's not on me, baby. It's in me. I get that from her. I get the loyalty from her. My mother is very loyal, especially when it comes to family, especially when it comes to those that she is oh so close to. She is loyal by default. And sometimes there is nothing in it for her. And she don't go looking for anything. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be reciprocated for her. She does this because that's how much love and support she has for you. I remember disappointing her, and I get it. She's my mother. She's supposed to show up. But there were many times when she could have been like, no, I'm not doing that. You proved yourself wrong, and you're here. You're in this situation because you proved yourself wrong. You proved that this was incorrect. You made a mistake. And she still shows up. Period. So seeing her act with such grace and give people such grace, it took some time, but now I realize that as an adult and having a mother, an amazing mother like her, that I, as the child, had to give her grace. There may have been things that maybe she did miss the mark. Because we all miss a mark, right? We may miss a mark when it comes to communication. We may miss a mark when it comes to, you know, resolutions. I don't know. We may miss a mark. That's meant to happen because we're human. And even if she did miss a mark, it's okay to give her grace because she doesn't know everything. She's not perfect. There are going to be things where she just can't all of a sudden read my mind. Maybe she didn't know how to communicate the way I needed her to communicate. Maybe she didn't have the affection that I needed, the version that I needed to see at that time. But that doesn't make her less than or less of a mother, you know? And so I've learned that I have to allow her grace because even in this current moment, there are many things that we don't necessarily agree on. But I can't necessarily expect her to understand because there are some things that she won't understand. We can learn to respect each other's opinion. We can learn to hear each other, you know, and listen to understand versus listen to respond. We can communicate better. But at the end of the day, we have to give each other grace. To know that the intentions will always be pure. And to realize that I can't do life without you and you can't do life without me. Even in spirit, you know? And life is too short. Life is too short to not allow grace. You will you will run yourself crazy. Now I understand there are situations where maybe grace isn't that's it. And some people have that issue with their parents and that breaks my heart. But in this situation I've learned that sometimes you have to separate, not sometimes, you period. When you become an adult and you realize and you look back on your childhood and your parents, you have to separate the woman from the parent. My mother was a woman before she was a parent. She was a person, just an individual by herself doing her thing, period. And then she became a parent. There's no rule book, there's no guide, there's no handbook, there's no advisor, there's none of that. I mean, you may look up and have amazing parents to guide you, but even still, you have your own rendition of what it is that parenthood looks like for you, you know? And once you get to raising your child, it's all on you. And when you're a kid, you don't really understand that aspect of it because you look at it as, oh, my parents are on this level, and they're supposed to be perfect, and they're supposed to know everything, and that's my go-to, and that's my guru of life. But the reality is, they're trying to figure this shit out just like we are. Excuse my French. I'm pretty sure my mother's gonna hear this, but whatever. Love you, mom. So, um, just knowing that God gives us grace. You know, He gives us grace even though we mess up and we disappoint and we make wrong decisions. The least I can do is give her grace. The least she can do is give me grace as her daughter. To know that my intentions will always be pure and will always come from love. And that, yes, I will sometimes disappoint. And yes, I will sometimes make mistakes. But still, even still, unconditional love, I'm still going to show up for you. I'm still going to love you regardless. I'm still going to be there for you. I'm still your mother regardless. I will forever hold you as a priority. That's powerful. That's powerful. And I'm finally getting to that stage where I see her wholly and I realize that the many things, the many high standards and expectations that I have for her, don't get me wrong, I still do have high standards and expectations because I know what my mother is capable of. However, I realize that she is human. She is human. And she is still getting to know not only the adult child, the adult me, but the healed adult me. You know what I mean? The evolved adult me. We have many different seasons. They have seasons. I'm still getting to know this version of her, the more mature adult of her, mature age version of her. Um, Mind blown. So, resilience, grace, and lastly, selflessness. And I know that can be kind of sticky, right? Because on one hand, I'm like, hey, you got to learn boundaries, which is still true. You can still be selfless, but with boundaries. Um, I used to always say this running joke, but I was dead ass. My mother, I remember growing up when I was little. It was never a moment my mother came home with an empty hand. Like, granted, it's not about what was given. It's not about gifts. It's not about monetary items. It's not about material things. But I'm just showing as an example. I remember I must have had like a fit about something, being a brat. And my grandmother was checking me. And she said, have you ever noticed? Every day your mama get off that bus, because my mama don't drive. Every day she get off that bus from work, her hands is never empty. I would do this thing where she would get off the bus on Jackson. And my grandmother lived on like the side street from the main street. And when I would see that bus, because I mean, it was very rare that bus would stop right there at that stop. And I knew what time she would get off. So I kind of like had her schedule figured out. And so when I would see that bus arrive and I knew it was my mama come get me from my grandma's house, I would run and try to meet her at the corner. And I remember my grandmother saying, I want you to take a look. Just be mindful. Every day your mother gets off that bus and she never has an empty hand. Not with a purse, not with a work bag, but it's always something in there for you. She has never, and thinking back, never not done plus some for me. And I said this earlier, I've never gone without. I don't even know what that feels like. I just told my therapist the other day, I said, I'm in this season of sacrifice. I have to personally make some sacrifices because I want to go to a different level. So that means I got to tighten up. I can't go out as much. I can't do this. And that's just a part of being an adult. But I've never had to sacrifice like I have now. And it's not to say everything was given to me, but my mother worked her ass off to make sure that me, nor my sister cousin, or herself, we ever wanted for anything. I remember, like, in high school, I wanted to go away for college. I wasn't thinking about where the money was going to come from. I wasn't thinking about what they may do financially. I wasn't thinking about that. I just knew I had this dream of just going away. And the simple fact is my single parent mother never heard a complaint, never heard a if, and, or, what if, should have, nothing. It's you apply, let's get you in. What all do I need to do? And I'm pretty sure 1,001, 1,000,001 people can say this about their parent. But we on my platform, so I'm talking about my mom. Okay? All right. But it's moments like that where I think back, and it's not just for me, it's for other people that she did as well. Like, she does the same thing where she's just so selfless. Like, she will give you the shirt off her back. My mother is not a selfish person whatsoever. If you say, hey, I like goldfish, she gonna find the goldfish that you like. She gonna find the most popular kind and she gonna ship them to you. If you say you're reading books of prayer, she gonna fill your Bible. You know what I mean? Like, she gonna find a way to show you that she supports you and that she loves you and that she hears you. And, I don't necessarily regret. My biggest regret is not understanding that side of her earlier and not appreciating that side of her earlier because I was so busy and so focused on what it should look like. You know what I mean? Like what I thought it should look like. And truth be told, the whole entire time she was giving it. Um, my grandmother used to tell me all the time, honor your mother. You only get one. Honor your mother. Honor her. And that's why I wanted to. Oh, y'all, I'm over here ugly crying. Thanks, Mom. That's why I wanted to come on and do episode 25 and dedicate this episode to her. Dedicate this whole podcast to her, to be honest, because I know for a fact the things that I am experiencing now, the opportunities that I have received, the people that I have met, the things that I've explored are only because of the seeds that she has planted, that she has tended to over the years. I know I come from good soil. Okay, I was planted in good soil. And I know that those seeds that she has planted are now blossoming, and I'm enjoying the fruits of her labor. And I know one day God is going to grant me the ability, whole ability, to make sure she is able to enjoy every fruit of her own labor. Being able to reflect on the many different mothers in my life, but specifically my mother, it gives me confidence to say this, and I'm pretty sure the people that know me are going to be like, what? But it gives me confidence to say that I know if I was ever granted the ability, the opportunity to be a mother, that I would be an amazing mother, because I've seen that time in and out by my own. I've had an amazing example of what a resilient, graceful, selfless mother looks like. And to do one better, learn from her mistakes, and learn from her disadvantages. I'm excited. I'm excited to, if I do get that opportunity, I'm excited to be there. Even if I don't, I'm excited to be what my mother are to so many people. Even to this day, like her coworkers, younger coworkers, like they love her. They love her. Do you hear me? And I'm excited to be that because I know that I get that from her. I get that from her. My greatest gift is my ability to connect with people in a genuine way and to touch people's lives, even when I don't even realize that's what I'm doing, but to touch their lives in a way that it changes their lives, it changes the trajectory of it, like, and for them to see me for who I am and not just what I do for them. That's gonna be dope. So I don't want to cry no more, but that's what I wanted to talk about. I know Mother's Day has already passed, but even still, honor your mothers every day, every single day. They deserve it. Um, they more than deserve it. It's just, that's just the standard. That's what we do around here. honor them. Give them their flowers while they're still here in the living to see, breathe, smell, all of that. Enjoy. Um, Understand that the seeds that your parents sow during their times, during their labors, during their hard work, you later feed off that same soil. So be mindful of that. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in none of that. I understand manifestation, all of that, cool. But what I do believe in is God, and what I do believe in is knowing that faith without action is dead. And the actions that I input and the actions my mother has input, something like that, who has created this amazing story, this amazing journey. And I am forever grateful. I'm forever indebted. And I wouldn't rewrite the story no other way. So, with that being said, this is the end to season 1. This is my dedication to my mama. Even though she don't watch. I don't think she do. But she's aware of what this is and what Lace Convos is, but I don't think she's watching. But if she does, this goes out to you, Mom. I love you with every ounce of my being. And know that everything that I do, I don't just do for me. I do because I know that I'm living the life that you probably imagined. I'm doing things that you probably always wanted to do. I'm exploring things that maybe crossed your mind and you didn't get a chance because you decided to be selfless and bring me into the world and help raise other people. And the least I can do is live out loud, live freely, be unapologetic just like you, walk in my grace and favor, and continue your legacy. So, here's to season 1. I needed a drink. That sucks. Why did I have a drink? But here's to season 1, episode 25. Cheers to season 2. Here's to living in our truth, keeping it lace, being transparent, living our lives in full, vivid color, and knowing for sure who we are, what we are, and going where the love is. All of that, all of the lessons you learned through this platform, all of the conversations we've had, all of the things you've heard me share, I truly pray that if it connects with you, it connects. If it applies, it applies. And if it doesn't, let it fly. But I truly hope that you take something away from it and know that every single episode came from the heart. Whether I was laughing, crying, pissed, surprised, whatever. It came from the heart, and these are nothing but love letters to myself and to you. Other than that, until next time, remember, keep it cute or put it on mute. Respect your mama. Give her flowers. Honor your mother. But always keep it lace. Y'all have a good one. And remember to follow me so we can keep in contact. Okay, Hoochies? And as always, I love you guys. I thank you. And I appreciate you for all of your support. Trust and believe I'm coming back even bigger. All right. See you later. Y'all know I had to do it because I've been doing it. Bye-bye.